Welcome back, everybody. It's an honor to have your presence here with us in season 3 of my online show. And today I am super excited for 2 main reasons. Firstly, I am interviewing 2 of my closest friends and favorite people in the whole wide world, true soul sisters who have really been there for me as I went through my transition out of corporate into this multi-dimensional world. So I literally can't wait for today's conversation and to share their incredible energy and awesome talents with you. So both are uniquely talented in different ways, and we're going to get into that today. And together they are really an energy dynamo. So I'm super excited to see what magic is created by us today. And secondly, I have, and I'm so excited about this as well, I have an exclusive world debut of my favorite non-physical planetary teacher. And his name is Zach, and Zach he's been my ascension guide whilst I've been crossing the bridge to multidimensional consciousness. And Zach, or Zachariah as he's sometimes called, is an aspect of Ascended Master Dwal Khul. And many of you will know Dwal Khul as the Tibetan, who Alice Bailey channeled in her prolific writings, and whose wisdom really underpins a lot of the knowledge that is shared in the spiritual communities today. So Zach has done a huge amount of service work for this planet, and he's helped many people through the gracious and patient channel of Janet, who's my dear friend. So it's with absolute honor and a humble heart that I introduce him to you today. So I'd like to welcome the 3 incredible beings that I have on my show today. Welcome to Hazel, Janet, and Zach.
Oh, Ariella, it's just such a thrill to be here on this show and to be with you, our soul sister, as well, and to share our passion for this evolutionary journey, and to introduce everybody to Zach, who, like you, has helped me so much over the last 10 years. I feel so thrilled to share him, if you like you do, with so many of your like-minded and like-hearted viewers.
It's so exciting, isn't it? I've literally, in quite a few interviews, the viewers have heard me saying, and I've got Zach, an aspect of Dwal Khul. It's like been this sort of build up, and yeah, it's just it's beautiful to be here with both of you. And you know that I love you so much, and just thank you so much for everything that you supported me with on my ascension journey.
You're so welcome.
So let's get into this, because I really want to introduce the viewers to you, and I want to give them a bit of background into who you are, what you do, what your specialities are, because as I say, you're both got very unique talents, but in different ways. So Hazel, I'd love to come to you first of all, and just ask you to share a bit about your story and really what your role is in this planetary ascension.
Okay. For those viewers that don't know me, I had quite a humble beginning with a father who was a minister, a mother who was a nurse, and I myself went into nursing. But I do remember as a child thinking, this can't be it. This can't be all it is. I didn't believe anything that my father was speaking about from the pulpit. I kept thinking, why am I only seeing out through these eyes? Why am I trapped in this body? So there was a few rumblings going on when I was little, but otherwise I was quite a normal human being. I went through nursing, had children, and then actually worked for a big pharmaceutical company. And through those experiences, I felt very strongly that the structures of the societies and the different ways that we work to heal people weren't really serving them in the best way, and opted for a much more holistic route of healing. And after my own sort of breakthrough, if you like, my father came over for a visit. He'd emigrated to America, and he had given up the ministry himself, also not believing what he was preaching from the pulpit. And he had started to work with, firstly, he was a hypnotherapist. So he went from ministry to hypnotherapy. Then he started also working with past life regression. And he was such an amazing inspiration, a true sort of physical guide for me, really. And I resonated completely with what he started talking about, and he practiced on me. And so I then myself went into working with hypnotherapy. I trained as a hypnotherapist, and almost immediately after, one of my hypnotherapy teachers said, you know, what are your plans for your hypnotherapy business? And I said, well, I'd like to work with people with medical problems and help them find a more holistic solution. She said, oh, I think you're going to be doing much more metaphysical things. And at that time, I actually didn't really know what metaphysical meant. But I was gifted the book, one of the books by the psychiatrist, Dr. Brian Weiss, who was talking about past life regression. And I read the book Only Love is Real, and it was about soulmates who traversed time and different lifetimes in order to be together. So it just suddenly linked, the medical and the metaphysical came together in that moment. So I also trained as a past life regression therapist. Very quickly decided that I could help my amazing teacher, Andy Tomlinson, who runs the Regression Academy here in the UK. And before long, I was his co-trainer. So for about 7 or 8 years, I was by his side. We were co-training, teaching the diploma course of past life regression, life between life regression. And that's where I met the beautiful Janet, who was one of my amazing students, who is very much a peer. And she started channeling on one of our evening entertainment exploration kind of sessions, where a few people lay down in order to speak with the Council of Elders in the kind of spirit realms. And Zach came through. He came through as the the guide for the future, and we've been really good friends ever since. My journey's continued. I completed my training with the Academy, and I've been seeing private clients for past life, for life between lives, for inner child healing, helping people understand, you know, much more about the journey of their soul. And that's been incredibly rewarding. I've also almost followed my father's lead, because he started working with a channel, and between them they've written about 12 books, all where he interviewed this wonderful lady who had been a top prosecuting attorney in the county court, Chicago County Court, only prosecuting the most hardened criminals, when she started hearing the voices coming into her head. So a very unlikely kind of combination, if you like. But she retired, and she and my dad found each other, and he was the interviewer, interviewing souls who were now on the other side, who wanted to tell their story of what their contracts were, what their plan was for their journey whilst they were while they were incarnated. And so some of those would be Darwin, Hitler, Einstein, Churchill, Gandhi. You know, it was an amazing surprise that they could communicate with these souls who also told them how they viewed their life experience once they returned home. So that opened up this world of channeling to me. And I remember saying to Tony Winninger, who was the lady channeling, I'd like to work with some channels. Do you think that might be possible? And, you know, she had another of those knowing smiles and said, oh, yes. You know, it's kind of in your life plan. And before I knew it, I was chatting with Zachariah, and other people started channeling all around me. And I think that's why I now feel my journey is much more about creating this portal for evolutionary wisdom, so that I can help many, many, many more people access this truth, this guidance. If it resonates with them, then I'd like to be able to bring it to them. So last year I started organising some wonderful all-day events with the first one. We had 7 channels all channeling during the day, and that was actually a little bit much, wasn't it? So we've cut it down to about 4 now, so we can have more time, we can go deeper with each channel. Our next Revelations event is in the UK on the 17th of March. And I run also evening groups for people with other channels. And now it's time to create the online portal and get, many, many more people free access to this information.
Yeah, this wisdom needs to be shared with the world, doesn't it?
Yes.
And just for the viewers, I mean, look, I will tell you, hanging out with Hazel has been an incredible journey into seeing how many channels she has around her. It's crazy. Like, I've never met anybody who knows the amount, and not just knows them. Actually, Hazel has catalyzed a lot of them. She's like a channel activator.
Before.
Yeah, you literally have, and it's been part of my own you've been part of my own channeling journey as well. And we've had these incredible experiences. So, like, I just know, and I know your blueprint very well, as you know, because I've given readings, and Hazel is this portal of evolutionary wisdom. Like, when you hang out with Hazel, you get wise, whether it's through a channel or whether it's through somebody she's introducing you to. She's this amazing connector, that is bringing through this wisdom onto the planet. So, yeah.
Really kind, Ariella. I perhaps we could call me a spark plug. Yeah, it's an amazing role to have. I used to really, really badly want to be a channel, but I think I'm too nosy. I'm too curious. I'm the question girl. I've got so many questions always.
You channel questions. Channel questions. As well. And we're going to see some of that today. Okay, so actually, yeah, Hazel's going to be asking the questions of Zach today, and we're gonna introduce Zach in a moment. But first of all, I want to introduce the amazing Janet, the beautiful Janet, who has been just another huge support to me on my ascension journey. So, yeah, Janet, please do tell the viewers a bit about you, your background, your connection with Zach, how you met Hayes, all the rest of it. We'd love to hear.
Oh, thank you, Ariella. So I heard Hazel saying about how she had quite a normal upbringing. I'd say mine wasn't that normal. I was your classic I see dead people. But it's interesting, when I look back over my life, I sort of can almost compartmentalize it into parts. And it all goes into the psalm, like all of us, into what we're doing today. And even though I was a natural trance medium as a child, there was no boundary as to what I was bringing through, whether they were like the lower energies, as in the traumatized and earthbound energies, or not. And so, interestingly, after lots and lots of different trainings, all being done in secret, because I was trying desperately to live this normal life, and living in London and working in corporate, and anyone that spoke of anything esoteric being very it's sort of very much like, oh, you don't believe in that, when it was shining from me, all of this that I did, through loads of different things. Eventually I found my way to the Regression Academy, maybe 10, 12 years ago, I can't remember exactly how long. And I met Hazel. Hazel was my trainer, and I was working in corporate, And most of you guys out there that work in corporate or have done know people hold themselves a little bit. And Hazel came bounding up to me like the most loving Labrador. She'd never met me, and arms thrown wide. And I wasn't quite sure what to make of her at first. I was like, no one's this positive. And then I really got to know Hazel, and it's been really beautiful because she's become such a good friend of mine. But as you said, Ariella, she's so much more than that. She was, you know, my trainer along with Andy when I was training in past life regression. She then trained me to be a supervisor. But not only that, she has been the one that has very gently nudged, pushed, cajoled, shoved with the channeling. I'd come from such a background where it was something to be sort of a little bit ashamed of. I worked through all of that when we were working with regression and so forth. But what was really lovely was seeing Hazel's face and other people's faces light up when they could speak to these other energies that I was a bit like, well, I've got no questions. One of the reasons why Zach says I can do what I can do is because I'm quite, I'm not overly curious, which sounds a little bit strange. I think of myself just a bit in the flow, but it's great because that means I'm magnetized around myself. Wonderful people as well, like Hazel. And so really the last few years' journey, as I became more well known for channeling and started teaching channeling workshops, for many years I offered one-to-ones, which became too much really for my system because I'm an out-of-body channel. And so really it's going up to another level, and this is why I'm so happy to be part of what Hazel is doing, you know, being this portal of evolutionary wisdom. I mean, it's fantastic. And Zach can bring so much. So presently I'm writing with Zach. He's writing 3 books at once because he doesn't like to make life simple for me. I'm still teaching. I have sort of like 2 hats. They blend together. Strangely, considering Hazel was my trainer, I'm actually in exactly her shoes. I'm one of the main trainers for the Past Life Regression Academy now, and I teach hypnosis and regression and so forth. And that all ties in. But I would say really my main role over the years, because it's pushed in so many different directions, is being this channel for Zach. And Zach is a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I feel most comfortable channeling out of body. For those of you out there who channel or are looking at it, he very much talks about the way we are going these days is about blending more than anything. But he's very kind because he knows my most comfortable method is to be completely out. So I have a portal really into a meadow space, my safe space that I created years ago. And that is where I go, that is where I meet him. And so when you see him, there will be a shift that you'll probably even see where I shift my consciousness and move as much of my energy out of my body. And over many years, he's got very used to using my body. So rather than when we started of laying on the ground with, with a blanket, with arms twitching and heads going, I've still got quite twitchy face, you'll see, but other than that, he can. And it also means it's his personality that he's choosing. Zachariah is a real life that he lived. It's one of his favorite lives. So this persona is his persona from that life, but it's the wisdom, as Ariella says, from Dwell Call and the access that level of vibration. He talks about being on the 26th dimension, how he can then pull that through. But the lovely thing I hope people find with Zach when they see him is, I feel, is he's very personable. He really understands what people are going through in life, living today. And so, and he wants to be your friend. He does want to be engaging and enjoy being with you. And I think the only other thing is, just as Ariella said, this really is a debut. Ariella knows, Hazel knows, any of you out there that know me know. It's been an answer for years of no, 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 never. on screen, but as my husband says to me, and love, he says, get over yourself. And so here I am getting over myself, to bring you the wisdom of Zach. And for this summit, the fact that it's all about love, well, I think he will be on cloud 9 himself, because that truly is the answer, isn't it, to everything?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. I think that is just such a beautiful introduction for both of you, and I'm just honored and delighted and beaming, as you can all see, to have you both on the show with me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to hand over to the dynamic duo double act that we have on the show today, Hazel and Janet. So Hazel's going to ask questions, going to channel through the questions for Zach, and we will see this incredible metamorphosis that happens when Janet goes out of body and Zach comes in. So this is going to be a beautiful channeling about what we will find out, but the topic is multidimensional love, how to flourish in your sacred union while ascending consciousness. So over to you, beautiful souls.
Oh, thank you, Ariella, and thank you, Janet, for this debut. I think Ariella and I are both equally delighted that you finally said yes. So what will happen now is Janet will just go into a space where she goes into the meadow that she spoke about, and start to allow Zach to come in and take over her energy field, or merge with it, so we can start talking to him.
It'll probably take a couple of minutes, so if you want to talk anything about the connection, what you're going to be talking about, I'm sure he'll let you know as soon as it comes through.
Okay. So this topic, from my perspective, how to flourish in your sacred union whilst ascending in consciousness, is so spot on. Ariella, I'm so thrilled that you've brought this to the viewers, because it feels as though it's a very hot topic for many, many people, actually, whether they're in relationship or not. Because if you're in relationship and you have the wisdom that I know your viewers do have, that they are on an ascension journey, then we're always looking for ways to amplify or optimize, or at least transition smoothly through the ascension process, and being in human bodies does give us these experiences. We've come here to learn something. It's not as though we've come here for the tropical island life, although many of us want that, and perhaps that's where we're going, to a much easier, much more love-filled experience of being here on this incredible planet. However, we've come with maybe past lives from this planet or other planets. We've come with various aspects of unfinished business that we're looking to resolve, to transcend through. And so that one of the best places for that transition, or that understanding of the unfinished business, is within our relationships. And so that's where we bring our wounds, and we come together, and often we trigger each other. So it's how can we very quickly work through this. The wounding isn't really a wounding if it's a plan that we had before we incarnated to bring unfinished business. We're not a victim if we wrote the script and we are appearing in our own kind of movie, if you like. So now that I can sense, as I'm sure you can, Zach is here, let's hand this whole situation over to him and find out so much more about this topic of sacred union and the ascension process, Zach. That's our hot topic today, but first let me welcome you into this love-filled space. We're so delighted that you could be here. I wonder if
welcome, my dears, welcome.
Welcome. I wonder if perhaps you might just share a little bit more with the viewers about what you are, who you are, and where you've come from, and your relationship here in this in this interview with Janet and myself and Ariella.
I am Zachariah, as you know. But this is just a way of coming to you. I am what all of you are. I am the, how to say, the sum of all things. Is that not the case? But like anything, it is where we put our focus on. I have the added advantage of putting the focus into this body, using this mouth and so forth, to bring through to you knowledge, to bring through to you awareness. But really, this knowledge and this awareness is simple reminders of things that your own human body has forgotten. So, in a way, you could say, I am activating you, stimulating, remembering. Because we appreciate when you are living these human incarnations, there is so much to think of. The mind is often a muddle, is it not? Of so much that have to happen day to day. You work in this difficulty of time, everything in its allotted time and so forth. We do not have to do that. We have a luxury on our side. We can come to you at any time for however long. It is most joyful for us. So, yes, what I am doing here today, first of all, I came because you asked. This is good to remember, all of you. However many of you are out there, I like this new technology. You speak to so many people.
Yes.
All of you that are out there, they know that all you have to do is ask. Like I say, you do not have to wait until a certain time. You do not have to say, oh, I'll ask at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is when they're free. We are always available to you. We are not limited by your constraints of time at all. And so, by being here, as I say, I have been asked, and I am most willing to share. Yes, on any topic. But I hear, yes, we are talking of love.
Yes.
My, how long have you got? This is a topic of a lifetime, or it should be for any person's lifetime.
Yeah.
If any person's living a life is forgetting about love, how to bring in love, how to work with love, and most importantly, how to be love and to give love.
Yeah.
Well, then they are missing the point of human life. Because it is through the barriers that the light truly shines. It is like like a prism of light, the light and then the reflection, and how it takes it out to many parts. As the love flows through you, in humans, it comes out in many parts. It is beautiful to witness when one person can hold the light and be all of the love. But most of the time, you are parts of the love. Conditional, unconditional, and all these different ways. And so, yes, my dears, we are here to help, to guide, and to be the love in your life as well, when it is not coming from other areas. Yes.
Well, what would you, how would you explain the sort of way that we can optimize or really, as Ariella says, really flourish in our sacred union relationships, our love relationships, whilst we're on this evolutionary ascension process? You know, because is it that we can use the relationships to amplify that journey, whether they're going well or not? You know, there's so many different aspects to this.
There are. First of all, choose the right partner. Now, this, of course, sounds like a rule number one. Yes. Many people say, love the one you're with. That is from one of your songs. It is not love the one you're with. And there is truth in that. If this is one you have already picked. But it is no good saying, I have no love in my life, and go to the market and see someone that fits the bill and just take them home. No, of course not. It is important, first of all, that there is compatibility. And when I'm talking compatibility, I am talking on every level, from physical, emotional, mental, all the way through to the energetic resonance between. But of course, you do not get this every place. But there are billions of you on the planet. So for those of you who do not have this yet, rest assured there's always someone else around the corner. And compatibility does not always mean that it has to be one particular person. Now, of course, again, if you find your union with one other, if there is a soul plan that you are determined to see through, this will happen as well. However, if your soul is a little bit more, shall we say, on the evolutionary path of experience, it is likely you do not have a soul plan about one particular one, because it needs to flow and adapt with your own achievements, evolution, and growth. For example, can you imagine if before you came into this lifetime, you had set yourself a certain level of improvement, shall we say, through that life, and actually you excelled and you've gone far beyond, you may be in keeping with having a person to you that is actually not fitting for you anymore. But soul plans can obviously be fluid. Remember, time, not so much. So you can have these different ones.
That's good to know.
But as well as having the person, it is how you see yourself, how you view yourself. You do not have to read every self-help group book in the land to know that if you are broken inside, it is more difficult to let love in. What you will allow into you is a rescuer, not necessarily a lover. So it's important to balance as you are looking out into the world, or directly to the relationship that you may even be having at this time, to also look within. What do I need to resolve? And I will use this word rather than heal. Heal is a very good word, but resolving comes before healing for many people. Healing can take a very long process. Resolving can actually be quite quick. So you can go in the process of resolving first, in order that you are then magnetizing, drawing to you, and being able to share with that person with an open heart what you two are building together. Love is not just one thing. It has many different facets. So when two people come together, they create, it is a bit like creating a brand new organism. And it is love that is very specific to those two people. And so you want to have, what is this expression, the nuts and bolts of it. Yes. Yeah. You want the nuts and bolts of it to be hardy. You want them to support the both of you. No good, as I say, if you have someone who is rescuing you, and then when you are more in your light, getting frustrated with them because they are always trying to look after you, and you think, I can look after myself. And so it is also about adapting. Adaptation is very, very important in a relationship. The two words I would say to you, which are very practical words, but are very, very useful for deep, loving, sacred union: adaptability and vulnerability. Vulnerability is very important, because when we have fear, we hold back. To allow ourselves to be vulnerable in a relationship opens our hearts to them. Now, I cannot give you any guarantees you are not going to get hurt, because people will often say, understandably, but if I make myself vulnerable, I may be hurt. But you give yourself more than a fighting chance to have the good times. If you shut yourself up and do not allow yourself to be vulnerable, you will never hit the mark. You will always only get so far. So for true sacred union, each part has to be vulnerable. And in so doing, the other person appreciate that vulnerability. It is a bit like pouring water on the flower to make it grow. Now, when the petals open, it does not say, I will only open while the weather is sunny. It knows the weather is changeable, but it has the strength of its roots now to hold it. Understand this, my dear?
Yeah, Zach, could I ask, you mentioned about being hurt through this vulnerability. If people were able to view the hurt as an opportunity, as actually being given an insight into a wound that has not yet been healed, could they change their perspective on those feelings of hurt to, oh, now I actually know what I can work on to resolve and heal, and therefore, you know, raise a little bit higher in vibration as a result?
This is very true, but it is a process.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody becomes aware of the hurt, they feel the hurt, they feel the pain. They are like an animal. You know, humans and animals not so far apart. They need to lick their wounds for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get people who can very quickly turn it on its head and go, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
But I would say for majority of people, they honor the pain first.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Pain is there as a messenger, yes,
Yeah.
but it also shows that you are human. It is the spectrum.
Yeah.
When you are living human life, living on the earth,
Mm-hmm.
of course, there is always going to be polar opposites.
Yeah.
Night and dark, night and day, so forth, all of these things. And so true with emotions and others, all of which have meaning, all of which are to be honored.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Mm-hmm.
like as the animal will clean their wound to make sure infection does not come in, to make sure it is clean. There is not a set amount of time, but it is to be aware that to honor that hurt,
Yeah.
they can spend a little bit of time, but they're not a wallow, you know?
This is the
Because
thing.
the wallowing is the death of love.
Yeah.
Because it is the death of love for themselves.
Mm.
That is not to say that there are times where just having a jolly good mope, I remember, did it myself many lifetimes. But you have to snap out of it or
Yeah.
have someone to do it as well. This is not to be cruel, but it shuts you off from the light.
Mm.
Literally, what you are doing is you are wallowing, is you are pulling yourself separate.
Mm.
Again, it is what animals do. It is moving away, but it comes from instinct rather than for the good of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you say, my dear, yes, 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 it is a case of after a certain amount of time, moving
Yeah.
into that space. Yes, understand this?
Because the viewers here are wanting to know how to ascend in, you know, in consciousness through the relationship and what is offered. This provides an opportunity, doesn't it?
It does. Another word that I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot at the moment, but maybe you'll not think of it as the main word here. It is kindness. When you are in a partnership, kindness goes a very, 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 very long way. Kindness to understand when one is hurt. Kindness to understand the vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And through that kindness of self and to
Compassion.
other, exactly, kindness will breed compassion.
Yeah.
And it will also breed patience. And it will also breed, the capacity for ever increasing love. It is a bit like a compound interest.
So what I'm hearing is even when there are maybe challenges within the relationship, you know, sticky moments or times where, you know, there are things that need to be worked through. It's not that that's holding you back in your sort of ascension journey, but actually it's giving you even more opportunity to discover those beautiful gifts as you speak about the kindness, the compassion, building the capacity to love, you know, even more unconditionally in that journey. So some of those moments are huge opportunities for growth.
There are two different paths to ascension when it comes to love and sacred union. One is to say, I will love myself, I will love the world, I will love everything, and move swiftly through the essential process on their own. And what I mean by on their own is not in an intimate love relationship. Still with loving partners, loving pets and family, loving friends around them, all of this is fine. But in terms of an intimate, shared, this is important word, relationship. Now, yes, this happens quite quickly when you can do this, because you can have complete and utter focus on own needs, desires, and creation of the path they are taking. The other path is a little slower, but is not to say it is any less interesting, exciting, evolutionary, and will still get to the same level. And that is when you are journeying two people, two peas in a pod. Now, because with this, having this intimate relationship together, it is a bit like when you have explorers climbing a mountain and they are doing it with a partner. That one can bring strength, can bring support, but sometimes if they are having troubles themselves, it can also hold back. So this sacred union in terms of ascension can be done together, but think of it as an expedition that is being journeyed upon together. Because in this way, then you can have more kindness, more compassion when the other one is stumbling, when the other one is taking a little tumble, and also to be kind to yourself when you're the one that is stumbling. And it does not mean to say that everyone will use this language, because not everybody speaks of what they are doing. It is the actions and it is the feeling of these parts that is the most important thing. Understand, yes, my dear?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm curious to know whether there's a difference for star beings, multidimensional beings, or, you know, do they experience this journey in some different kind of way? Are they attracted together, or do they? Tell us your insights.
Okay. So for those who what is word? Associate. Yes, because we are all from a different place.
Yeah. True.
But for those that associate themselves mostly with the earth, mostly with human lives, they are bringing to them soul rememberings of how they have acted with inner love and with a lack of life to lots of different lifetimes. Now, that does not mean to say they are adepts. You look at the word. This is not the case. If anything, sometimes it brings even more confusion.
It's been messy.
Exactly. But what it does do is it works with what it knows of the frequencies of the earth, the frequencies of the heart in terms of the earth and humans. When you associate more with your starseed lineage, you are bringing in far more of the rememberings, the learnings, the awareness from other situations, other dimensions, other star systems, much of it outside of your cube of the universe, where the frequency is different. And this is what is important. It is about frequency and vibration, because then love is felt differently. The one thing that is universal, because time, space, does not matter how many dimensions you go to, the one thing that will always be next to you is love. Love is the communicator. It is on the vibration of love that I come to you. Without love, I cannot be here with you, because love is so much more than a feeling. But to go to those star seeds, wherever they are from, they are also remembering times outside of our physical boundaries, where love is far more transparent. The difficulty for them is they do not understand necessarily consciously, subconsciously, or soul-wise why there is all this smoke and mirrors here on the earth. Why in so many love relationships is one thing thought and another thing said. Why there is so many betrayals, abandonments, difficulties, hurts, barbed words, whatever it might be. Because when you are living in either non-physical forms or forms of different physicality, in most other, let us simply call them places outside of human, there is not this very deep separation that you have here with the density of your physical bodies.
Okay.
Therefore, the physical body, humans become very adept at what they call body language and so forth, of not giving away what they are feeling inside, if they so wish. Starseeds find this very, very difficult because they have not the remembrance from other times of how to do this. They only know what they have learned in this life. So some of them are a little bit like a cardboard cutout, as they say, a bit like a board, because that is how they have the impression from other people. And others are giving too much, opening their heart. Opening heart is a good thing, but sometimes they are almost smothering others with it and not understanding why it is not coming directly back. Now, that is not to say they cannot find. Of course they can find. When you know yourself, and this is about the inner awareness, you can then of course work with it. So if you are star seed and you realize that as love is seeping out of you left, right and center, channel it. And what I mean by that is, if you do not have a love partnership directly, or your love partner is being a bit overwhelmed by your love, as if you are pouring buckets of it over them, what you do have is the earth. Animals love this love. Nature loves this love. If you are feeling you've got buckets of love and nowhere to put it, just go into your garden and dip it out. Go to the forest. Go anywhere. See a local stray cat. Give it a big hug. You'll love it. Yes, yes, yes. Because they also, even though they have separation, they do not have boundaries of keeping themselves away from this energy. It is always perceived by nature, by animals, as a nurturing energy. So they will take it in. Understand this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to, can I just quickly, because I'm looking at the time, we've got a few minutes left, and I tell you what I'd love to talk about, because it's come up on the other interviews, this portal. Yeah, so we've spoken in previous interviews about this new ray that's coming to the planets. And this is like a big prediction. It's happening soon for the viewers. And I wondered whether, just because my intel was through Zach,
yeah,
I wondered whether we could just ask Zach to share a little bit with the viewers about this ray and what they might be able to like expect, or what can we anticipate.
Great. Yes.
Vast opportunities. That is what is coming. It was not always set in stone that this way, as you were calling it, would be opening at this time. We needed to check where humanity is at, what is needed, how it would be used. Because in a way, it is a bit like giving a hammer to a 3-year-old. In the sense that they have to use it wisely. But the wonderful thing is, I've been calling it Stargate because humans will give it their own label. Many people have been channeling different names for it. So my label is, think of it as that, just a label to cloak of it. Because the reason why I'm calling it is a Stargate, it is an opening that is literally going across time and space. This is overtaking your current situation with time and space. Up until now, in this period of time that you are living, and going all the way back, all the way through to many of your ancient civilizations, there has been more of a boundary Yes, through the soul. You can get to different lives through the heart. Most definitely, you can travel anywhere that you are wanting to go perception. But with this open, this is more for the masses. This will allow greater amounts of energy, greater amounts of uh, invention, innovation to be coming through. This is one of the reasons why it has been deemed appropriate as well to be open at this time, because a bit like the child with the hammer, there are needs that are coming, and sometimes we have to trust that who is being given this tool will be able to utilize it. In terms of love, you remember I say I am here because I am traveling on the love race. Through this new portal energies, way energy, however you'd like to call it, the communicator, the vessel, that is a better word for it, the vessel that this energy coming in is the purest light love. Therefore, as people are feeling this, like anything, they can take it or they can reject it. If they take it, this will be an added source to their own energy to reclaim the love that they have lost. Important. This is where it goes across time and space. So rather than feeling all of those remembering stirrings in the back of the soul mind of all the loves of the past, because you are in this incarnation now, you are drawing that love to you. Interesting, is it not? But not only that, you can capitalize and utilize, because when love comes together, it is not one makes two. It comes together and then it is more like a nuclear explosion in the sense that it catalyzes each other, creates more and more and more. So we are going into a period where there is certainly the capacity and the opportunity for big stirrings. Yes, there'll be a bit of chaos with it, because there always is there not? When people feel new things. And as I say, some people can reject it. But those that take it on, this can be like a stabilizing force. This can be bringing through the energy. And certainly for the star seeds, for those who are connect mostly outside of the human realm, peace in love. That is what it can bring, because it can bring the connection to home. It can bring the connection to others that are like us, even if they are not in physical human sense next to us. They can help so that we are not bursting out, as I say, with these buckets of love or keeping it all in, but to harmonize with the human body, the physics of the human body, of the energy body as it needs to be here, to interplay in a way that allows a more fluid, easier, and a more loving lifestyle in general. Understand? Yes, my dears?
Yes, absolutely. You spoke about those who take it on. Is there something that we can do to intend or to call it into us, or is it going to just sweep over everyone?
In many ways, it is a sweeping. It is like the sun coming up in the morning. When you open your curtains, you do not choose whether to have the sunlight in or not. It is just there. This is how powerful this ray is. Of course, adepts can go into it and use it more and more. Those that are taking on this role of helping humanity, such as myself at this time and others, are doing lots once it is open.
Okay.
This is preparation period, and of course we do not want people to go poking about until it is all open. But in the springtime, this opens, and then we have vast opportunities for growth and for drawing it. Yes. Okay. Drawing it to us even more. A bit like when you go out into the sun, get your vitamin D. Yes. You're intending to do it. And this is a similar way. But there are so many aspects. But really, my dears, remember, this is changing. That is a better way than a breaking down. It is a changing of the barriers that have been in place around space and time. Laws from Lemuria, laws from the very ancient Greece, those from Atlantis and other places are being attuned to this early on. because they were the last ones to have this information, this energy. And this is being opened up again now in order to help the earth, help humanity. Everything that comes through has the opportunity, and as you know, I'm the optimist. And why not? And how we are to use this into future growth.
I think this is going to be music to people's ears, because it sounds as though it's going to give people opportunities to have more of the kinds of experiences that, you know, they've been wishing for. We haven't really touched upon, and I know we will in our monthly Zach chats, you know, what people can do if they're currently single and they're wanting to magnetize, you know, their most compatible partner to them. Also, those of us who are wanting to, I know you don't have a physical body, Zach, unless you're channeling through someone, but for those of us that do, you know, how we can best use it in our sacred sexual union as well. I don't think, Ariella, we have time right now, but maybe we could
maybe just some last words from Zach, and then, you know, we're gonna speak to the viewers about how they can continue their journey with Zach. So
okay, definitely so much more to share.
I wish we could do this for eternity. I mean, yeah.
Become like me then. I do this.
Don't tempt me. I've just got in my body.
Join me on the 26th. We will have fun. We will have constant party. The most prevalent thing, I wish for all of you who are listening now, who will go and have a cup of coffee, share with other people as well, is to know love is your birthright. When you come to human life, it is very difficult. We understand. This is why we are here to help, why you have your own guides and helpers to help, why your soul is always in the background, trying to help you, sometimes succeeding more than others. But when you come here, you do not come here because you are taking yourself away from the light. So often it is spoken about separation. It is to carry the light here and to see what you can do with it. Whether you are carrying light, whether it is the breath in your lungs, your heartbeat, you constantly are generating love. You are a love generator.
That's nice.
If you allow yourself to be that, if you look at all the things that we have been speaking of, yes, resolution, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, if all you remember is that you are a love generator, and what you can do here on this earth is to be love. That is not as complicated as it sounds. To be love is to be vulnerable, is to show love, is to allow your barriers to come down in terms of who you love. Whether it is loving a neighbor who is causing you problems, whether it is loving a political situation or group who are causing, even your conscious mind is seeing as trouble, or whether it is loving your pet, your children, your mother, your father, your partner. For us, it is all the same. The more that you are loved, the more you create love in your life, because it is a fact. When you give love out, you attract it in, because it is the stuff of the universe. This is more physics than anything, because you are the generator, my dear.
You're like a magnet, aren't you?
Most definitely. This is a good word. Yes, yes, yes.
Love magnets.
Shall we all do that? Shall we all have a little thought in our heads? When you go to bed tonight, my dear, when all of this is long gone and you've got annoyed with the dog for doing something that you normally love, and you've had a little bit of a spat with someone, I want you to go to bed and say to yourself, I am a love generator and I magnet. Yes, I am a magnet for more love into my life. And sleep in that peace rather than the other.
Yeah.
Understand this, my dears?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. I wish we had more time here on this show, but this isn't the end, is it, Ariella?
No, never.
There's so much more.
beginning.
So much more. I have pages of questions to ask on this topic, Zach, and I know that you have hours of answers, and that's one of the reasons why we've created the Zach chats. Shall I speak about those now, Ariella?
Yeah, do you want to do that with Zach here, or should we bring Janet back? What's your preference?
Well, firstly, let's just see what Zach
Okay.
might add.
Yeah.
This is an arrangement that, you know, has been made with Zach, that he has agreed to come back every month. So we're going to have an online Zach chats show, if you like, where we're going to be talking about this topic, certainly at much more depth, and other pertinent topics, probably discussing the ray when that comes through in more detail. So
this is a free, so just for the viewers, so this is the opportunity. So Hazel's and Janet's beautiful free gift, an opportunity to the viewers, is that you sign up for free on a monthly membership. It's completely free to partake in Hazel's portal for evolutionary wisdom.
That's right.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about what that might look like for the viewers?
Well, certainly with Zach, once a month we'll be releasing a Zach Chats, a video between Janice and myself. There'll be audio options as well. And I'll also be interviewing other channels. So it won't only open the viewers up to conversations with Jack, but, you know, with Zach, but with the universe. You know, whoever comes through, who wishes to channel, will start to be releasing conversations that are pertinent, that are on the love ray, to help people on their evolutionary journey. And you know, I often respond to questions that come into me from various sources. So I'm not just asking my own questions, but questions that are coming from far and wide. So yes, and we also have Zach live in the UK coming up as well for people who live here. There will be an opportunity to come and see him at the Revelations event on the 17th of March. That's going to be in Stroud, in the middle of the UK. And Janet runs events too. Anyway, Zach, I can see you're still there. Do you want to just say something about the Zach chat that we're going to do together?
I plan them to be both enlightening and fun.
Yes.
Because to me, that is what life should be.
Yes.
Shall I call her back now?
Enlightening and fun. That's perfect. Thank you, Zach, for coming through today.
She's the fire. I will get her.
We will see you again very soon.
And this technology.
Good, isn't it?
You have to buy my new friends. She's coming.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh. Yes, and I think Janet will also start to share as she just lands back in her body. She's got some events coming up too, so I don't know whether they're already sold out, but there will be more coming, so we can also link.
Well, this is the thing. So welcome back, Janet, first of all. Back in your body. I always love Janet's. Janet's always like, what's my mascara like? Is it how far down her face is it?
Looking good. Yeah.
So this is the thing, right? This is my third show, so I know how much like emails and messages come in from the audience, and I've always known that as soon as we introduce Hazel, Janet, and Zach to the audience, it's going to blow up the lines, basically, because the wisdom is so high. So what I've asked Janet and Hazel to do is to create this free gift, because we're generously giving in this summit, giving you guys connection points of how you can still access the wisdom, the teachings that are available for you. We are really committed to helping you in your ascension journey, and bringing like the wisdom, the tools, the teachings to you. So the first thing is that you can click on the link that I'm sending you in today's email, which will take you through to a page where you can read about this incredible free subscription to this monthly evolutionary portal, so that you can access this wisdom, and that will include these Zach chats. And then also what I want to create space for is just for so Hazel's mentioned, and you can say again, Hazel, the Revelations workshop that, or the Revelations day that you've got planned. But also, Janet, if you want to also talk about the viewers, because I will get a lot of people writing in anyway. So let's talk about it now while we're in this space.
Well, for me, as I've said a couple of times, we have with Janet and Zach. They are on stage several times during the Revelations event. One just as Zach. I also have Zach talking with the elder selves who come through, another colleague of mine, Lisa, and they have a wonderful conversation on stage. So it's the universe talking to the universe. It's like two old men on a bench. Absolutely hilarious and incredibly wise, totally brilliant. So that's coming up, and we'll be running those during the year as well. And I do some.
And people can email you, right, through the information that we're sending if they want some more information on that.
Absolutely,
yeah.
There'll be a link to it so that they'll be able to sign up even without emailing me.
Okay, right.
Either option is fine. And Janet, do you want to say what you're doing, if you've got any space left at this point?
I've got a feeling channeling 1 is fully booked, or it's even got a couple of spaces left. That's the first channeling workshop. I've been running that for about, oh goodness, a number of years now, and I've run those every
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can vouch.
Ran the first one in my house back in about 2012, didn't I?
It's amazing. So let me just say quickly, because I've shared with the viewers a bit about my story and how my soul has merged with all of the other beings, which is part of the monadic integration. It happened at Janet's channeling workshop.
Yeah, and that's where I met you, Ariella, as well.
And that's where we met Hazel. So that, like, the energy is off the charts, incredible. Janet is like a true master channel and a master teacher at channeling, and Zach's there, and all of your other guides are there. I mean, it's incredible. So
it is amazing what Zach and the team, it always astounds me.
Yeah.
And it always astounds me that my website, there will be a new one by the time all of you are seeing this, but it's been so out of date for so long. Everyone finds it. Someone once found it when they were looking for a plumber. Don't ask me how. Zach and
spirit guides,
and everyone's spirit guides get them when they need to be. So it's pretty much, it's always full, and it's always the right people, and there's always connections on each of those. For many years, he said he didn't need to do another one in sense of another stage, but he said there's channeling 2 this year, and this is actually linked with this new ray that's coming through. And I've only just arranged the dates for that in April, so anyone that's been on channeling 1 can come on that. So anyone that's approaching going on to channeling 1, there is going to be 2, and he's also told me there's a channeling 3, and that will come later this year, and they will be run again as well, so that people can use those. And then something we've been doing for a few years now is something that I tried to call a retreat. As you've seen from Zach's energy, there's nothing really retreaty, laid back, go and have a lie down. So they're called channeling extravaganzas, and they're 3 days of huge changes. He works with massive team. We've had dragons in, we've had crystal, liquid crystal energies, and all sorts of things. He works on different themes, different vibrations, with the whole plan is to help people and to ascend, to move into a new way of being, but also give them tools that they can help with themselves and with other people too. So there's lots of different things that are going on. All of those will probably be found more on my website.
And how can people access that, Janet? Do they just go to your website, and they
will contact me? Yes. So on the new website, which it will be end of January, it'll be up and running. Yes, that will have all the channeling info, all the events, the stuff that Hazel's running as well. And I have a newsletter that I send out as well once a month, which has like a freebie piece from Zach on it. Sometimes it's a meditation, sometimes it's information, whatever it might be. But this is a really lovely new way as well to reach, for more people to hear this information as well. So we're going to be doing more collaboration.
I can put a
too.
link on my website, on my landing page, or on my website to Janet as well. So it will be very easy for your viewers to find her.
Amazing. So yeah, we just want to create these connection points for the viewer. This is too important. Like what's happening on the planet at the moment is huge, you know.
And for collaboration with the soul family, you know, we're a soul group that we can, I think we create a synergy as we all come together in this way. So thank you, Ariella, for this amazing summit. You know, I'm just so delighted that you've created this particular topic as well, because it's so important for people to understand much more about love and, you know, the frequency of love and how it can help us on our unbelievable journeys.
Absolutely, absolutely. The timing is ripe for it. In our planetary evolution. So ladies, thank you so much. It has been so beautiful to co-create and collaborate with you both today, and our incredible Zach. Thank you so much. It's a dream come true to do this interview and to create this space, hold this space, and you know, bring the viewers in to connect them with you too. Just so beautiful. Thank you.
Final words to the viewers, actually, just really enjoy your sacred unions, and for those of you that are not in sacred union right now, magnetize them. You know, there's so much that you can do at the quantum level to actually get yourself into the relationship that will serve you and that, you know, you can travel on. So
absolutely. So thank you to all the viewers who have watched this extravaganza today, this mini extravaganza, because there's a lot more that is available. And as I say, please do click on the link that I'm sending you on today's email to be taken to the page to access this incredible evolutionary portal of wisdom. You get a free Zach chat, so he'll be going deeper into some of these topics around sacred union as well, some things that we haven't had time to share with you today. And please do also reach out. I'm in the Facebook group. We are in the Facebook group. You know, the speakers, the teachers, the way showers that are participating in the summit. We love connecting with you. You know, let us know what your response has been to the interview today. What has been your greatest takeaway? Has this helped to answer some of your questions about love? Let us know how we can support and serve you. We're absolutely here to be your support, your cheerleaders, your guides through your sacred union journeys, through your ascension journeys. So it's our absolute gift and honor and pleasure to be with you and to share as much as we can with you. So thank you to everybody, and namaste. Blessing.
Thank you, Ariella.